Yeah, are these the roots?
What is it?
Statue of Liberty or snowman.
Declared martial law.
Daddy, what's martial law? I'm scared.
How do we know they're coming?
They're coming. Ready?
Hey guys, Lucas here again for another movie review. Today is for the new zombie flick World War Z, starring Brad Pitt and directed by Mark Forster. World War Z is based on a very popular novel of the same name, and this movie had a lot of controversy when it was being filmed because there was a lot of problems with the script. Apparently the script, or the first couple of drafts, were terrible, and there was a lot of rewrites, and Brad Pitt, who is also a producer on the film, had a lot of creative differences with the director, and this led to a lot of reshoots, and I think also more changes with the movie that led to increasing budget. So this whole filming of this movie was kind of a disaster, and to me the trailers and the clips and all the footage they showed did not get me excited at all, so I thought this thing was going to be a disaster. And the story for this movie basically follows Brad Pitt. He's a family man, but he used to work for the UN as I think a journalist, and he is called back into action because there's this parasite or just outbreak across the world that's turning people into zombies, and it's basically up to him to find what is the cure or what is causing this outbreak, and he has to leave his family behind. It's basically the fate of humanity rest in Brad Pitt's hands. And this movie totally shocked me. Not only was this movie not bad, but it's one of my favorite movies of the year. Brad Pitt really carries this movie, and he was very good in the lead. He's really the only notable actor in the movie. There's a couple other people like, oh, I've seen that guy before, but he's really the main star of this thing. And the movie really, he carries the movie on his shoulders. He's very believable. He's very realistic as a father, and he's a really good, just strong hero. While she's not in it that much, I also thought the girl that played his wife was also very realistic, and she wasn't annoying. A lot of these movies can use the wife as an annoying just trope, and I thought that she didn't get out my nerves at all, and even though she wasn't in the movie that much, I felt that they had good chemistry. The thing with this movie is that it is paced beautifully. This is one of the most purely entertaining movies of the year, especially for the first 45 minutes to an hour or so. This movie just starts off off the bat with the outbreak and action and chase scenes, and the intensity never lets up until about an hour in the film. But that being said, it's kind of nice to have little breaks in between all this action, but the movie is paced expertly. It's just brisk entertainment, and there wasn't really a moment in this movie where I wasn't involved or invested in the characters and the story. The action set pieces in this movie are a lot of fun. Some of them, a lot of them they show in the trailer, but there's a couple that are still exciting because they seem to have touched up the CGI. A lot of the problems that I had with the commercials and the trailers where I thought the zombies and the CGI looked pretty fake, and they definitely seem to improve that during the movie, or at least it worked in the context of this movie, because there's just these great sweeping shots of these cities that are just covered with people and just zombies on top of each other, and a lot of it's just really, really fun to watch, and there's really nice moments of suspense that's not just all in-your-face action, and especially this scene in like a medical facility, which I thought was handled really well. But what really sets this movie apart from other zombie movies like this is it's really smart and really realistic, which is two things you rarely get in a movie like this. All the characters are intelligent people. They're not like horror movie people where they make dumb decisions for no reason. Everyone is a logical human being, and the movie doesn't cheapen itself in any way by using it. Obviously there's a couple of tiny cliches involving Brad Pitt's family and stuff like that, but for the most part it's a smart film that doesn't resort to dumb coincidences or cliches, and everyone is just an intelligent person, which makes the movie that much more fun to watch. Really, the only complaints I have with this movie is for the first 20 minutes or so, the movie just starts off with all this action, and there's a lot of shaky cam, and this is from the director of Quantum of Solace, by the way, so expect some shaky cam in this movie. Maybe it was also because I was sitting in like the third row from the front, but the shaky cam in the beginning of this movie was making me kind of dizzy, and I really couldn't see what was going on. I was like, oh no, I hope the rest of the movie isn't like this. But once the first 20 minutes or so of the movie are done, the rest of the action and the movie is actually pretty well filmed. And I can also see a lot of people seeing that the ending is a little bit abrupt and a little bit lazy. There's narration at the end, and even the beginning of the movie didn't have narration. I could see people not liking that, and while I did feel like it was a tiny bit lazy, did feel that if the movie went on any longer, it would be dragging itself out. So I was fine with that. And this movie sets up for a sequel, and I gotta say, I'm really excited for a sequel if they keep with the tone of this one. And this movie really shocked me. I loved it, I would even say, and I would probably even see it again. This was one of the biggest surprises for me, one of the best movies I've seen this year. It's a great, perfect summer movie, and that's why I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. So what do you think of World War Z? I know that this movie deviates a ton from the book, so if you've read the book, please comment below and tell me what you thought. Did you like it, or did you really hate it because it had nothing to do with the book? Were you surprised by it? Did you think it looked terrible going in, or did you still not like it, even going in with low expectations? So if you like this review, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.
I think these things have a weakness.
Every human being we save is one less to fight.